morning, Libra. Welcome to your end of July 2023 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. Pentacles. What's going on here? Money issues. Queen of Pentacles. Ooh, interesting. Okay, the World card. The last card of Major Arcana. I'm trying to think, what is your 8th house? Taurus. Okay. And you have Jupiter in Taurus. Okay, yeah, that too. I was going to say Uranus. Okay. So the heart of the heart of the matter is the Ten of Pentacles. Now, the reason I was trying to figure it out astrologically is that one of the big themes of the Ten of Pentacles can be an inheritance. This is one of the inheritance cards. So the 8th house is other people's money, and that is the major area where we look at for inheritances, and you have Taurus in that house. Of course, this is just a general forecast, and so it can be, right now Uranus and Jupiter are in that particular sector, and Jupiter can create these surprise situations where all of a sudden you might be getting an inheritance and somebody you didn't expect from. Or with Jupiter, it can be more likely that you will benefit from an inheritance because Jupiter is connected to money, and the 8th house is. So it has like an affinity for that area in terms of finances. But also Jupiter can be like there's more than one situation that occurs. Like it expands this area for you. In general, the Ten of Pentacles can be big money, generational wealth, you could say, and even help from the family. Okay. So in some cases, if you have been needing financial assistance, you might get it from your family. Occasionally, it could be this theme about should I go into my family's profession or business, or am I allowed to leave it? Somebody who works in the family restaurant and they're like, nope, I want to move on, but they feel guilty. So there's so many possibilities here. I'm just going to keep going. And I think, the pentacles are connected to earth signs, and I think that Capricorn, because Capricorn rules the 10th house and is an earth sign, that might be a Capricorn person, but I don't know if that's backed up with facts. This was in the reversed position, but the Knight of Wands. I call this my woke deck because they even have like women. It's a very diverse deck, but they show women in, traditionally male suit like the knight. And I saw a review on Amazon and somebody's like, nope, like I'm not feeling this, it should be what it is, but I do love the colors and the illustrations, so this deck has definitely grown on me. But anyway, the Knight of Wands can be a very it actually can be associated with Sagittarius, and it can be a very playful but rebellious energy, or a person who is exhibiting this type of behavior. But in the reversed position, it can be out of control. So an example would be, you have an inheritance and there's a family member, maybe a younger male, who is really trying to run the show, really trying to strong arm people into doing what he wants, and that's creating some sort of, you know, conflict, if you will. The higher message is the Hangman, and this is a card of being in a period of suspension where there's not a lot of outer activity happening. Maybe you even feel hamstrung. Now, as a spiritual message, I would say this is a card of surrender. So, Libra is a cardinal sign, and Libra individuals tend to that if they do something about a situation, they're going to automatically make something happen. And sometimes that's true. And I think that that can make the cardinal signs very successful in the outer world. But relationships are a bit different, and you can't just force your own, you can't impose your will on relationships. So sometimes you do have to surrender, which is the passive is a divine feminine, and trying to strong arm relationships isn't really a thing. And it's funny because Libra doesn't come across as aggressive necessarily. You might be very gracious as you are strong arming someone. I've witnessed this myself, where I was dominated by a Libra, and it was a very pleasant experience. But yeah, letting go and letting God, as they say. What crosses you is the Seven of Pentacles. So another place where this can show up is in the workplace. And sometimes if you have started a business and maybe you didn't really plan everything down to the letter, you just kind of winged it. The Knight of Wands in reverse, you might have done something almost like very spontaneously, but not necessarily with a lot of forethought. And you're looking for that big money. That's why you did it. And the Seven of Pentacles is about, the moderate growth, or, well, I mean, I'm adding the word moderate, but it's really about watching something grow. So this is why it can apply to relationships, and it can apply to financial ventures, where you may want something. Ten of Pentacles in love can be the generational situation of children and grandchildren, this empire, but it's like this empire of love. The Seven of Pentacles is like the seedling that you are nurturing and that you're watching to see if it really is taking root. And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you start a project and it's not really viable for whatever reason. Sometimes you start a relationship and it seems like everything is in alignment, or that you guys are on the same page, but it doesn't really happen for some reason. And rather than worry about why that is, to me, it's far better to accept what is and move on. I just feel like that makes more sense overall. But still, you do have to give something time. You can't just do something and expect it to just happen overnight. And people, I think in this day and age, there's a lot of that unreasonable expectations, like starting a business and it's just going to take off like a rocket from the beginning, and that you're just going to rake in the dough instead of like slow and steady, wins the race type of a mentality. So, and And same with love. Being willing, if you're willing to go the long haul, which is what I see the Ten of Pentacles as, kind of that Saturnian energy, then you, in the short term, it means that you're just kind of taking it day by day, right? That you don't have this laundry list of expectations of how it has to manifest. What's coming in is the Queen of Pentacles. This is a card of, so we have the Ten of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. And also with, inheritance issues. This can be something where you can't really control what happens right now, if at all. You can only control how you react to something. The Queen of Pentacles can be a mother figure, a stepmother, somebody who holds that the purse strings. Maybe they are in charge of an estate, or this is their estate. But also on your end is really getting down to earth with what money represents. This is how I interpret it in this sense, where people are looking at money in a way that is disconnected from their actual life. So sometimes that's one of the reasons why people do have greed and have, like a grasping tendency with money, because they give it undue importance because they're in the wrong direction with it. The Queen of Pentacles is like the gardener, the person who is in touch with the earth. And so it's about sustaining life. That's what the Queen is, the mother, but mother, the earth mother. And, the word that came into my mind for Libra is glamping. Going camping, but it has to be this like expensive and aesthetically pleasing tent that's like kind of like really that costs like $125 a night or something like that. And the reason I say that is that sometimes people live in a way that's ungrounded, because they're not aligned with their true purpose. And so that's what I feel the Queen is nurturing, this authentic life that has meaning. Okay, because in this reading you have 3 Pentacles cards. That's what earth, when we say somebody's down to earth, we're saying that they're very authentic and they're very real. They're not trying to be something that they're not. They're not pretentious and that sort of thing, which is kind of like an offshoot of the ego that needs to be, appear better than other people and doing things that are not really authentic. The outcome is the World card. So it's really about saying goodbye to something that doesn't serve you in your life. Or a chapter is closing in your life. Now, this could be down the line because, for instance, if this is relationship related, this could be connected to the full moon in Aries, which is your opposite sign that hits your relationship house, happening in late September. Well, you could say, well, that's so far away from now, but it's actually only 2 months. So that could be the time, and certainly that is at the time right after the sun goes into your sign. It's an early degree of Aries. So it could be speaking to the new beginnings that are coming after this major chapter closes in your life. You're going to have a solar eclipse in your sign in October, and also maybe somebody that you have had to say goodbye to. If you have experienced any kind of situation with an inheritance, it means that somebody passed away, and perhaps that is symbolic for you of changes in your life. So that's what I have for you, Libra. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, please check out my package deals and my standalone readings. I'm at rainamoonastrology.com. The link is below. Take care. Bye.